Hey, Frederick in East Providence, Rhode Island. Matthew here with freeprescriptionlenses.com, and I'm going to show you how I cut 167 high index lenses with a great anti-reflection coating for your, where is it? Here it is. Your RayBan 2132, which is the new Wayfarer, color 901, which is the classic shiny black in the 52 eye size. Excuse me, got a little tickle there. All the sawdust here in the lab. So let's take out of the frame your Italian leather RayBan case. And the star of the show, the main attraction, with a cleaning cloth hiding inside and a little bit of junk mail on the inside, because you just don't get enough junk mail in your regular mailbox. They got to put it in your eyeglass case now. But this is the RayBan 2132 new Wayfarer. It comes with a little plastic sleeve on the left temple to protect itself while it is being shipped from Italy. And of course, I'll have that on there while I ship to you. Again, this is the RayBan 2132, the new Wayfarer, color 901, and the 52 eye size. So this is a sunglass, but it is one of the most comfortable pair of glasses. And with the Geek Chic being very popular, we're going to turn this pair of sunglasses into the most awesome pair of Geek Chic glasses by taking out the heavy glass lenses. Let's go ahead and do that. The breakable lenses, and we're going to put in a much thinner, much safer high index lens. So I'm going to take the frame, put it into the tracing element of my edger, and hit the green circle, which is start. A little stylus is going to pop up, and it's going to go around and trace the inside bevel of the right side of the frame before doing the same thing on the left. Here at freeprescriptionlenses.com, where everyone loves a bargain and no one is disappointed in quality. You buy a genuine, authentic RayBan frame and you'll receive one free pair of clear single vision prescription lenses. My receipt has my federal ID tax number, so if you have vision insurance or flex dollars, you will get reimbursed for this purchase, whether they are prescription or not. Now Freddie, may I call you Freddie, upgraded to, he paid $59.99 to upgrade to the high index lenses. And of course he paid $44.99 for the anti-glare coating. And let's see, pupillary distance 31.5 for both eyes. The computer starts at 32.5, so I'm going to tap the minus button twice till we get down to 31.5. I do want to move the optical center up to 22 in this frame. Now I'm going to take his lenses down here to my lensometer. Let's see, the first one is minus 350, minus 2 1/4 at 174. Minus 350, minus 2 1/4. I will turn the axis wheel to 174. Take the lens out of the protective packet, put it into the lensometer. Actually, I need to always double check that I start on 0. Yes. Move it to minus 350. Take the lens out, rotate until the sphere power comes in clearly. Find the optical center of the lens. Check your astigmatism correction, of which I will explain later. Get everything lined up, and then I'm going to put 3 dots on the lenses. Hopefully all 3 will show up, and not, I will manually put them on there. The lensometer has 3 little pointy devices. I dip it into the ink, which is never enough ink. Barely shows, hey, I got 3 on there this time. Let me go ahead and darken them. Where's my pen? I'm going to darken them so you can see them at home. 1, 2, 25, and this is the right lens. And let's do the same thing. Actually, hang on. Where am I at? Okay, yeah, minus 350, minus 2 1/4, minus 350, minus 2 1/4. And I do not have to highlight that these are 167 high index lenses with an anti-reflection coating. And these are aspheric, the first quality, the highest quality, which I'll explain in a little bit. And of course, that was the right lens. You're going to receive all the original lens packaging. Let's spin the axis wheel to 173. You are 1 degree away. That is so rare that you actually are so close in number. And of course, that's minus 450, minus 150, minus 450, minus 150. Take the lens out of the packet. It's on 173. Put the power drum on minus 450. Rotate the lens until the spherical component comes in clearly. Find the optical center of your lens. Check your astigmatism correction. All that's looking good, and then we're going to put the 3 dots on your lenses again, dipping it into the ink well, and then try and hopefully transfer that ink to the lens. It's always a little tricky with the anti-glare coating. It's like a force field. Look at that. Nothing's taken. Nothing. So let's put a little bit more ink in there. And then it's going to be crazy wet. We'll see here. We'll see here. Put the lens back in. Rotate until the spherical component comes in clearly. Check your astigmatism correction. Get everything lined up. Now let's see if the 3 dots will go on there. Way too many dots. And of course that third one never likes to cooperate. So I'll put that on there. And this is the left lens. So we will come back down here to the lensometer. Let's grab everything up. Come down to the lensometer. I'm sorry, the blocker. We will now leave the lensometer. I can take the frame out, put the right lens onto the platform, start breaking stuff. I'm good for that. So these are, as I call them, Jenny from the block. I need to attach this to your lens while it is cutting. So I need 2 double-sided adhesive stickers, of which I've got here. The black side is the sticky side. I'm going to line up the first sticker, put that on the platform, do the same thing for the second sticker. Now on the back is a little magnet. It's going to do its job twice tonight. The first time I'm going to place it into the arm of the blocker. I'm going to peel the paperweight and make the black side sticky. Line up the magnet that's on the back to the magnet there. Now the reason why I put those 3 dots on there, it tells me which way to orient it. And with your higher than average astigmatism, in fact you have 2 1/4 in your right eye, it becomes critical that everything is lined up. So your pupillary distance is perfect. The optical center height is positioned. Get those 3 dots lined up and make sure everything is perfect. And I'm going to hit this button. The arm's going to come down and place the block onto the right lens. We'll do the same thing now for the left. Can you hear that? High index has a slightly different sound than polycarbonate or plastic. In fact, here's a good teaching moment. Let me get a polycarbonate lens. So, pull this out. High index. A little bit more bass, polycarbonate, a little tinny, a little higher sound. Every optician needs to know the difference in those 2 sounds. And of course, glass, polycarbonate, high index. All right, you got that? You will be tested on this later. All right, let's put that lens up. Let's go back over here. Pull the paperweight and make the black side sticky. Line up the magnet there in the arm. Pupillary distance, let me double check. Get away from there, lens. Get away from me, kid. You're bothering me. 31.5. 31.5, so it has mirrored the right side, same optical center height. We're going to line up those 3 dots. The blue crosses the geometric center of your frame. Your eye is just above that and just inset. So, let's see here. Get everything, those 3 dots lined up perfectly. Hit this button. The arm's going to come down and place the block onto the left lens. Now this is the edger. This is what costs $40,000. It weighs 200 pounds. Yeah. Go out, buy your own. Put it on your kitchen counter. Then you won't need this guy anymore to do it for you. But Freddie runs another business called Eye Decal Things. He makes some awesome things. I'm going to get some. I think I'm going to get him to decal my logo to put it here on the edger. But anyone up there in East Providence or anyone around the U.S., if you need any decals laminated, Google Eye Decal Things and you can use his services. I've Googled him. He does some beautiful work. So that's why I'm going to hire him to do some stuff for me. So let's see. Let's pull up the shape onto the computer. That is the shape we'll be cutting. Now, these are not polycarbonate. These are high index. So let me mark that. I do not want to polish the edge of the lens because it's not going to be seen. I'm not going to put a bevel on the front convex surface of the lens. I'm only going to put a bevel, safety bevel, on the rear concave surface of the lens. Excuse me, I got a tickle again. How about if I eat some candy? That's what I need to do. Where's my candy bowl? Hey, some icebreakers or some of this. Yeah, I think let's go with the icebreakers. This is, ooh, I'm running low. I'm going to have to go up in my price so I can buy another one of these. Okay. Put that back to work. So where am I at? Oh yeah, this is the actual cutting wheel. This is what's going to grind away the lens material until it's the final size. There's a wheel in the center, that little channel. That's what's going to put the V-shaped bevel onto the lens so it stays inside the bevel of the frame. So let's go ahead and get the right lens ready. Right lens. Put that into the chuck and hit start. The door closes, the clamp shuts. And then the lens is going to be traced by 2 white styluses, making sure the lens is at first large enough to fit into the frame, which it is. You can see as it's going around tracing the shape, and then measuring the thickness of the lens at every point to know exactly and precisely where to place the bevel so you have the least amount of edge thickness showing. So the lens is starting up, and here's something you don't normally get to see in my videos. Water sprays on the lens while it is cutting. Plastic, high index plastic, and Tribex cut wet, where polycarbonate lenses cut dry. Now polycarbonate is 40% thinner and lighter than regular plastic. High index is an additional 30% thinner than polycarbonate. So, like a bowl, his lenses are thin in the center, thicker at the edges. So we're trying, don't worry, your lens is not going to be this thick. That's the way it starts out. We're cutting this shape out, so we're going to use a thinner portion of the lens. If you can see through there with the water splashing, your lens is completely flat, just like a nickel. If I were to take it out now, it would stand up on the counter. Now, can you see the drill bit in the foreground? That drill bit is what drill holes in the lens for the type of frame that I'm wearing. Each side of the lens has 2 holes, 8 total, and that's what holds my lenses into what I call the chassis. These 3 pieces, the bridge and the 2 temples, are the chassis. Put mine back on so I can see what I'm doing, yo. So again, it's tracing the bevel of the lens to know exactly where to place the bevel. Just its own check and balance system. Again, as you can see, the lens is completely flat. Now it's going to get the V-shaped bevel so it stays inside the bevel of the frame. So Freddie and I both cut things for a living. I cut lenses, he cuts decals. I'm about to get him to do some eyeballs for me, stick them everywhere. I'm all into eyeballs. Most people have a briefcase. I carry a book bag around with eyeballs on it. How about that? Can you do this decal for me? That'd be awesome. Can you do that decal for me? That'd be awesome too. Wait, I can't see anything. I need to clean my glasses. So yeah, now a lever has come out. At the end of that lever is a spinning wheel. That's what's applying the safety bevel to the back surface of the lens. Should any part of this lens protrude outward from the back of the frame and come into contact with the cheek, it will be nice and smooth. I wonder what kind of cutting tools the Freddie uses. Of course, I'm not allowed to call him Freddie. I don't know him that well. I'm calling him Frederick. Frederick the Great. So if I open this door with my mind, you like that? I can do other things with my mind. I can melt ice with my mind. I can. It just takes me a couple hours, but I can do it. So, how about that for edge thickness? We start with that. We end up with this. That's why we use the thinnest part of the lens. So, let's go ahead and see if this fits. Tuck it in at the outside corner using my thumbs, press down at the nose, and it snaps right in. So let's do the same thing for the left. But before we do, are you ready for this? Something else you normally don't get to see in my videos. Let's hit the down button. Let's go down to the basement. Doot, 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 doot. Nice sound effects. So, this is the lens material that was cut away from the lens. High index is very gummy. In fact, it also smells like sulfur, so I'm going to empty this out. It's very gummy. It can clog this filter, causing it to overflow, which is why I have these buckets here to catch any overflow if I forget to empty that during the day. So let's go ahead and put the left lens in. Let's flip that over to L and hit the start button. Just like before, the door closes, the clamp shuts, and then the 2 white styluses are going to trace the lens to make sure it's large enough to fit into the frame. And you can see as it's going around tracing the shape of the frame, and as always measuring the thickness of the lens at every point to know exactly and precisely where to place the bevel, so you have the least amount of edge thickness showing. Look at that, no edge thickness whatsoever. Man, I'm telling you, the kid is good. Must know what he's doing. That's right, I went to school for years to learn how to do this, years to learn how to make a mess here in the lab. So kids, if you want to grow up and make a mess, you gotta stay in school. So let's come back down here to the lensometer. We're going to spin the axis wheel back to 174. It's still on 173 for your left eye. We're going to turn it 1 degree to 174, put it back in, and check the power. And I'm getting minus 350, exactly halfway between 3 and 4. You have an additional 2, so you are far side. I'm sorry, near side. You're very near side. So you need a minus lens to help you see far away. So let's see, 3 times 4 is 12. You're on 14th rung of a ladder. You need another 9 steps for astigmatism correction. So let's check that. And we're going to end up at minus 575. Remember, if someone borrowed $3.50 from you and then they borrowed another $2.25, they would owe you $5.75. That's where at $5.75, 1 tick mark away from 6. Now, so let's see, you have a total of 16, 4, 5 times, hang on, I'm doing math in my head. 5 times 4 is 20. You're on the 23rd rung of a ladder now with the combined powers. So you have 1 curvature on your eye, which is minus 350, which is 14 steps of correction. Then you have another 9 steps of correction, a second curvature, which is even steeper on this one. Is how we line up those 2 curves. And we line up those curves at the 174th meridian. A straight line is starting at 0 at the cap with 90 in the center, 180 over here. We're going to turn that fine-tune knob to 174. Now, this is the arbitrary number anywhere from 0 to 180. But astigmatism is what makes 6s and 8s look alike, or the letters P and F. So this is the fine-tune knob, and we're turning that fine-tune knob to 174. Now, the other thing astigmatism does, remember the old drive-in movies where you shine, or if you shine a flashlight or something projected onto a screen, a wall, it all hits in one central point. With astigmatism, it scatters. That's why you are much more light sensitive than other people. That's why the anti-glare coating helps you so much when driving at night, because driving at night for you, especially in the rain, is no fun. It is much harder for you to see things. You get a terrible halo effect from oncoming lights, or even like a starburst pattern when you look at a single point. That's because light is not hitting your retina, which is the back of your eye, which is a curved surface. It's not hitting at the same point. It is scattering and hitting all over. And that is why you get a lot of distortion. That anti-glare coating, which again you paid $44.99 for, will help with that. Well, let's keep our fingers crossed that it eliminates it entirely. If not, it will greatly reduce it. It just depends on the individual. Let's go ahead and check your left lens. And of course, you pay the $59.99 to upgrade to Hindex to get the thinner lenses. Remember that great big thick lens? Well, we ain't got it anymore. It's skinny now. Let's see if it fits. We're going to tuck it in at the outside corner first. Using my thumbs, I press down the nose and it snaps right in. Let's go ahead and take this block off. It is no longer needed. We're going to come back down here to the lensometer, turn the fine-tune knob that corresponds to your astigmatism to 173. We're going to put it in just above that red dot. And we're going to check the power, and we are getting minus 450, exactly halfway between 4 and 5. Minus 450. Now you have an additional second curvature on your eye at 150, which will let us, you add 450 and 150, and we end up at minus 6. So that is cut perfectly. I couldn't have done it any better myself. Remember high school algebra, you add the 2 like signs together. So your pupillary distance is 63, 31.5 in both eyes. So I'm going to turn the card around, place the PD stick against my thumb and measure, and I'm getting 63 millimeters, so that is cut perfectly. I do want to check the optical center height, where that's going to sit in front of you. That's good. That's good. Now, of course, this is the part in every video that as I clean your lenses, I mentioned to you that when you get these in the mail, there's a small chance that these could fit too loose or too tight. However, there's an 80% chance that one side is going to sit higher than the other. That is because 80% of people have one ear that is higher than the other, and because of that statistic, 99% of all optical shops will do free adjustments if you ask them. But I'm going to get them in standard alignment first, also known as the 3-point stance. The 3 points are 1, 2, and the bottom of the frame being 3. I set it on the counter and press down. There is no wobble. Flip it over, press down, there is no wobble. Close each temple to make sure they overlap perfectly, and they do. Then neither one is askew. Of course, I got my fingerprints all over it again. Let me clean that a little better. But of course, I also include a selfie request with every item shipped. Not only that, I also provide cleaning instructions, not only for your, like I'm cleaning your lenses now, not only for your frame and for your lenses, but also for your RayBan cleaning cloth and the cleaning cloth that I provide, as well as how to care for your case so it too will last you for years. No other seller on the internet is doing that, I am told. Let me give this a final cleaning. So when you get this in the mail and you see any wrinkles in your cloth, you know that it works, because I field test every cloth before I ship it. Because that one's nice to know. You don't want me to use this old wrinkled one that's in my pocket, do you? Nah, that's right. Let's use yours. It's brand new. It's one of the perks of the job. Now, see the wording there? That's why your lenses minify. Without your glasses on, everything is much too large. So when I move your lenses over the wording, it should make the letters look much smaller than they appear here. So, if anyone has any questions about what I can or can't do, that's how Freddie contacted me. He noticed that on my website, his prescription, the astigmatism only goes up to a -2, and asked if I could make his lenses. I said, sure. There's just certain parameters of lenses I can order. But I told him that was no problem. And of course, as I mentioned, the aspheric. Aspherical simply means not spherical. A spherical lens is completely round in every direction. It gives you an ugly cosmetic appearance. Aspheric is a flatter lens. Now, high index is one of the thinnest lenses materials you can have. In fact, it is. But aspheric, so it's a thinner lens, but also the front curvature is flatter to fit in today's flatter curvature frames. Years ago, frames were curved more, and you could use those rounded lenses that today give you an ugly fishbowl appearance. That is a terrible cosmetic thing that has been corrected from years ago. And so your strongest lens, let's see, 575, your strongest lens, which is your left lens, you have no edge thickness whatsoever protruding from this frame. So the high index was a great return on your investment. It's roughly $60 more minus a penny. But that looks so good, plus it's going to wear so much better. It's going to be lighter weight, so not only is it thinner and cosmetically better, but at the end of the day, being lighter, it's going to be much more comfortable. Mounted into one of the most comfortable frames out there. Again, this is the RayBan 2132 new Wayfarer color 901, which is the classic shiny black and the 52 eye size. This comes in 3 sizes. Forever and ever, it only came in 2. The 52, which I'm holding, in the 55. It now comes in a windshield 58, as I like to call it. But I know this frame so well because I wore this frame for years as sunglasses before I ever needed a prescription. I got these in one day. I tried them on. It felt like I was wearing bedroom slippers. This frame was so comfortable, deceptively comfortable, that I started putting my clear lenses in it. I quickly became the #1 RayBan seller in the state of North Carolina. RayBan has since come out with its own geek chic version of this frame, which is the 5184. The original, I shouldn't say original, there is a original Wayfarer that is model number 2140. That is the Blues Brothers. It is a much heavier and has a tilt to it, panoscopic tilt, where the bottom of the frame comes into the cheek and the top of the lens sits away from the face. That was made in 1952 and 1992. They redesigned it where it sits straighter, much more vertical on the face, sits in closer, doesn't allow light in through the top, which is a design flaw for sunglasses, truly, and is much lighter and comfortable. So I wore this frame for 5 years in all these different colors. I've since switched, but this is my favorite. This frame, you can practically say I cut my teeth on it. It is the logo on my cleaning cloth. This is the frame that got me selling online. You'll see if you go back and watch all my early videos. This is my #1 selling frame to this day. It still is. And I know that Freddie's going to love rocking this thing. He's going to get a million compliments on this. So again, remember to send me your selfie, because you're going to get a ton of compliments on this frame. So that's it. If anyone has any questions, you can email me. Simply click the contact me button on the website, or email me at freeprescriptionlenses@gmail.com. And again, Freddie and East Providence, Rhode Island. I hope you enjoyed watching as I cut the high index 167 lens. Look, I didn't even put the power of the left lens. I don't want to short you because you're getting all this. Minus 450, minus 150, which is the power of the left lens, and of course, let's put an L on there for left. And you'll be getting all the manufacturer's original packaging, so you know you're getting the quality things. That's why I write on every lens, so when you open up your box, you'll see these lens packets in there. And everyone else has gotten the chance to see how I bring that love and feeling back to glasses. Thank you.